focusing on a local man's extraordinary near-death experience and his remarkable journey to recovery.
I am very much the luckiest person on earth. I know for a fact that I shouldn't be alive today. When come that fateful day of February 13th, 2006, day's end, I would be fighting for my life. I went to work with the music pumping and we started working. It was about 10 o'clock in the morning. I struggled to get a nut off this pole. So I decided I'm going to take my own gloves off, my own protection, and take this nut off, just, you know, a little fiddly little nut. And that was the moment when I had this big gut feel like something's going to go wrong. But I did it anyway. I touched the 22,000 volt line with my left hand on the line, and I had my right wrist on the steel crossarm. It's just that moment that 22,000 volts hit me. It just pulls you in so hard, and every muscle in my body just started ripping in. I just couldn't get off. 2.5 seconds in, I lost consciousness, and my helpless body just dropped straight back down into the bucket. Electrical engineer said to me 1,000 men holding hands would die instantly. There was this doctor, she walked into my room and she introduced herself to me as Dr. Fiona Wood.
I remember a young man, a strong young man, who had a devastating injury. Energy in a controlled environment is fantastic. You switch the light on and it does the job. But when you get a person in that circuit, it can create havoc.
My wife walked in and obviously the doctor said to her, they said, he won't make it. And I said to them, if they can just bring my 2 boys in and my princess, and I just wanted to give them the biggest hug in the world and tell them how much I love them before I die. The doctor said, you can't let your kids see you, but worst, you can't let them smell you. The smell of burnt human flesh is revolting. It was just a marathon of first 7 surgeries, just removing everything out of my arms that was dead. But after the 7th surgery, they just couldn't do anymore. They just said, it's just too dangerous. I'm going to die. We need to amputate my arms. The plastic surgeon met me the next morning and said, let's see if I can help you.
So when I saw Theo, basically the bone was exposed, the nerve was exposed. When I thought there's some cases that can be salvaged. I've been thinking about his case for a long time because most of the time with that current go through, it tends to stop the heart. So for him to survive that, I think is nothing short of a miracle.
It was funny on how in hospital I fought so hard for them not to cut my arms off, and I fought so hard to get through that. But when I sat in that dark room at my house for months, I wished I died. At some stage I realized that the reason I survived this incident was to make a difference in other people's lives. If it's not for empowerment or inspiration, it would be for safety and safety of our workplaces. I love talking to our audience. It's what I do. About 500,000 people later in 7 countries. I've met this most absolutely amazing woman called Tamara. We decided combined that we're gonna do this bodybuilding competition. I put fat grips on stuff and I put loops around my hands and arms and wrists and everything else. In the beginning, I was extremely ashamed of my body. Today, I truly love myself again.
Because I've seen over the years people who take on suffering that is unimaginable, injuries that are just, you cannot imagine the suffering, and come back stronger. Theo is one of those.
Understand what drives you in life. What is the most important value in your life? What is your why? If you understand your why, you wouldn't take any chances, because it's just not worth taking chances in the workplace.